700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
In Pacific Heights, 57 degrees and cloudy.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
It's time to wake on up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. With a nice cup of Joe.
What's up, Joe, bro?
Featuring Joe Spadoni.
He's an Italian.
And Joe, the Butcher Boy Shasky.
I am slippery.
Oh! The best part of waking up is morning roast in your cup.
It is the Morning Roast, man, on 95.7 The Game.
Bailey strikes out to end the ball game. And the Padres do what they had to do after they lost on Monday. They certainly wanted to at least split the series, but they end up winning the next three. And now the Giants this year against the Padres, they go 3-10.
Dwayne Kuiper on the call, NBC Sports Bay Area.
Not faithful anymore.
No, not faithful. And the gap has widened significantly. I mean, we thought it closed a couple months ago. Made the deal for Devers. Everyone was happy. Everything was going great. And all of a sudden you look up and it's August 22nd, 2025. Giants are 6 games under. Padres are 16 games over and just a game out of the National League West lead. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Sam Loveman, who's doing double duty back there. We appreciate it. And to all you lovely people just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for the weekend. Yes, you made it. I'm so happy for all of you listening right now. You made it to Friday, and God love you if you have to work this weekend. We don't have to think about that today, all right? Because the sun's going to come out, and it is a new day here in the Bay, Joe. It's just tough to watch, though. I mean, poor Justin Verlander. No, we're not going to do that.
Start collecting those drops like they're Infinity Stones.
It's straight up not having a good time. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. 1 in 10 on the season. Justin Verlander. First ballot Hall of Famer. Can we turn up Shasky's mic, Sam? It's okay. It's all right. You're doing double duty back there. It's fun. We got it.
This team, I mean, Jesus. It's August 22nd, Joe.
It is.
I fell asleep during the middle of that game after getting LJ a haircut and getting him a haircut. My buddy Chris. Shout out Dog Patch Barber, who also cuts the Giants' hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, I mean, it's over.
Maybe the whole team needs to shave their head like Casey Schmidt did.
Look,
it's over?
No, for Bob Melvin's career is over. I mean, it is. I mean, it is. And
like career, like managing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's over. And I'm going to talk directly to Buster Posey. Buster, I think you're really competent, and I think that you know the game of baseball, and I think you truly understand the dynamics of the clubhouse. And I'm sure that there's some growing that you're going to have to do when it comes to, hiring and enabling, empowering the right people around you, because it's never one individual. You need to build a staff. The Warriors have like 43 people in their front office, and that might be too many. I'm not even sure. I don't know. I don't know what the rest of the NBA has in each particular front office. Zach Managerial has been here for, a couple years, and it takes time. And I understand that the cupboard was bare. And so we'll see. Like, it's going to take a couple years to really have a good feel whether he knows how to do this job. And I'm sure he's going to have to grow on the fly. And he's going to have to learn on the fly. But, Buster, I want you to listen to me this morning. If you're out there driving from Danville or wherever the heck you live nowadays.
Hell, it might be in Georgia. I would want to be at this point.
There's not a scenario out there that exists where Bob Melvin can come back to this clubhouse next year. And those decisions either have been made already or are being made right now. And it needs to be swift and quick. Now, I'm not saying you have to fire him in the middle of what's going on right now. But they need to get a jump start on who they're going to hire in the offseason. The last thing this organization needs to do is to be filling out their staff, pitching coach, third base coach, hitting coach, whatever it is. They need to get a jump on it right now. And David Sampson, who used to run the Marlins, was talking about why the Atlanta Braves, the Arizona Diamondbacks fired their third base coach. And that usually comes if you do it at this point in the year. In June, in May, you do it because maybe the manager just wants to do it. At this late in the operation, you do it to send a signal from ownership down into that clubhouse that like all of this is unacceptable and we need to quote unquote behead somebody because that's what the public wants. They want a body right now. Now, I don't know if Bob's going to be able to finish this thing out. We got another month and some change. But if Buster rolls back Bob Melvin, that is a demerit I'm not sure he's going to be able to pivot from and overcome. The fan base is done. Whether he likes Bob or not is irrelevant. If you bring Bob Melvin back, and I was hearing Sam Lubman explain, like, well, maybe they're... No. If you bring him back, the public outcry, I'm not sure you'll be able to overcome it. I'm dead serious. As great as his playing career was, I think things are teetering right now in terms of fan fervor and where they're at on this team. And if Bob Melvin, for any reason, if they even entertain bringing him back, he is going to lose what little support he has. I'm talking about Buster right now in the fans. We're going to turn so quick on this guy. I'm not saying that we're all going to run him out of town. You cannot, to these fans, roll back Bob Melvin. They just can't.
888-957-9570. We would love your participation today. You just heard it from Shasky. There is no way that Buster Posey can bring back Bob Melvin. It would damage his Q rating here, so to speak, in the Bay Area with the fans. Are you buying that? Giants fans, if Bob Melvin comes back, are you going to be viewing Buster Posey a little bit differently than you did at the start of the season? 888-957-9570.
People have forgotten this. And look, Buster had the playing career, so it's so unique to everything that like other guys, like, John Lynch, for example, like he didn't play here. He played for the Stanford Cardinals.
He's Stanford, but he
didn't play here.
He made his bones with, Tampa and Denver. Yeah.
John Elway played for the Broncos. He's one of the greatest legends of all time. So that might be the closest comp.
Yeah.
But people have forgotten, and this guy's so different. Trent Baalke was Executive of the Year in 2011. Executive of the Year. There was a time when Giants fans thought and Niner fans thought that Trent Baalke was good at his job. I know that seems unbelievable. The hiring of Jim Tomsula is something I still think to this day Jed York gets grief for. And it's difficult for a lot of fans to overcome. As great as his tenure has been in recent memory with the Shanahan era, I still think there are people that will never, ever, ever forgive him for the Tomsula and Chip Kelly stuff.
It's bad.
Right?
It was all-time bad. I think there's still fans that will never forgive Jed York forever with the Harbaugh. It just goes back to that.
Right? And now Buster Posey, obviously, again, he's starting with so much more equity than anyone else. But I do believe that the fan is sophisticated enough to separate player from executive. I do. Now, I look at someone like Chris Mullin, Hall of Famer, and he ran the Golden State Warriors. And there were some questionable moves that he made, and there were some things that went sideways. He also got them to the playoffs for the first time in what felt like a millennium.
Yeah.
So, there's degrees to it, and there's layers to it. You roll back Bob Melvin, Joe, I don't care if you sign Aaron Judge. I don't care if you
no, you would. Come on. If you get Aaron Judge, it's like, you know what? I can live with Bob Melvin.
Give me Arson Judge.
Yeah. Well, right now.
Joe.
Burn it down.
Joe, they can't bring him back. They can't bring him back. Like this can't come back. Like it just can't.
I know we all keep saying it can't happen.
Paper on the bottom of the shoe as you come out of the bathroom. You can't have that happen.
By the way, I had a massive cowlick yesterday, and no one told me about it, and I was very embarrassed. I had, come on, guys. You need to tell me when
I can only see the
happen.
front of your head, so don't blame me.
That's true. By the way, shout out to those watching on YouTube. Brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union. For a low-rate auto loan, apply online or just ask for First NorCal financing at the dealer. And we are coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios, Laughing Monk Righteously Brewed in San Francisco. And it's, it's a little bit poetic as we're talking about the potential firing of Bob Melvin and whether or not Buster Posey will do it, and should he do it, and does he need to do it? For your sake, Giants fans, 888-957-9570. As the Giants lose 3 of 4 to the Padres, a team that moved on from Bob Melvin just a couple seasons ago, Joe, and they haven't looked back. They have not looked back, as they are primed to potentially win the division over the huge favorites, the defending World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. They're just a game back, Joe. Just a game back. And it's not like the Padres are exactly world beaters. Look at that pitching staff. It's not very impressive.
Dylan Cease has had a very, very poor season.
Poor season. Their entire pitching staff, quite frankly, has not been very good. But they look good against the Giants, and that's the problem, right? Hell, even Dylan Cease didn't look great yesterday. Was it 5 innings? 4 runs, 7 Ks, but like, it's not like, and this is what's frustrating. And we had Dave Fleming on yesterday. It's one thing if it's the Dodgers, right? Like the Dodgers, I view like the Eagles in a way. And the Dodgers even are kind of like having a down year even for their standards because they have injuries left and right. But I view them like the Eagles. They are a tier above everyone else in all of baseball. The Eagles are a tier above everyone else in all of football.
Okay.
And I could live with that. But the Padres are basically like the Rams in this scenario. I feel like I could go into the season and I can compete with those guys if I'm the Niners. I felt like that way this season. I felt like the Giants could compete with the Padres. But the gap is widened. And I didn't think that was going to be possible after getting Rafi Devers, Joe, but the gap is widened even amongst them. And now I'm going through the trickle-down effect. Hell, you might even be behind the Diamondbacks. Hell, I look at the standings right now. You are behind the Diamondbacks. They're 62 and 66.
I'd rather be the Diamondbacks.
Yes. Yes, at least they got Corbin Carroll. He's exciting. A young player. Like, it's just... When it happens against the Padres, as they've lost 6 of 7 against that team now, it drives the knife in. And it's not like their manager is Bruce Bochy. It's not like the manager they have is Joe Torre in his prime. It's Mike Schilt. You couldn't even pick this guy out if he walked on the street. He looks like Hank Hill, quite frankly, from King of the Hill. Like, that's who he looks like. It's not like he's exuding confidence, but Padres fans are jumping up for joy for Mike Schilt over Bob Melvin.
They played 7 games over the last 2 weeks against the Padres.
Yeah.
They lost 6 of 7.
Yep.
In this 4-game series alone, they were outscored 24-10. In this 4-game series alone, they gave up 36 hits. Again, 24 runs, 36 hits.
The downfall is near, and it's coming hard.
I missed that one.
You could make an argument the Giants need 3 starters, at least 1 corner outfielder, at least 1, maybe 2 infielders, a catcher, and 2 bullpen arms. Wow.
Again,
I've seen CVS lists, receipts that are smaller than that.
At least they also have coupons most of the time. I can't get a coupon on my money back from this Giants season if I'm a fan right now. By the way, we are coming live from the Laughing Monk Studios, Laughing Monk Righteously Brewed in San Francisco. And I do want to mention this because this is a big-time news. And this is something that's positive, and we're going to keep talking about it because it's a very big deal, all right? Because Willard and Grandy announced it yesterday on their airwaves. So let me discuss it real quick because 2025, 95.7 The Game, Red and Gold Summit, Joe. Are you ready for it? Are you excited about it?
Yay!
I'm going to tell you all about it right now. It's happening Thursday, September 4th, live from King's Fish House at Westfield Valley Fair in Santa Clara. Willard Dibs will be live from 2 to 4, and then the summit with all the hosts is going to be happening right after that from 4 to 6. That's me, that's you, Steiny, Goo, Willard, Dibs. Come on out. Enjoy the festivities. Football season, we're getting ready. That's going to be the first official day of the NFL regular season, right? Eagles, Cowboys on that September 4th. So we're going to be talking about it all. Great food, great place, and your chance to hang out with all of us. Again, Thursday, September 4th, King's Fish House at Westfield Valley Fair in Santa Clara. Come out, get the season started with a bang. Experience the ultimate shopping, dining, and entertainment at Westfield Valley Fair. Your game day destination. Catch all the games this season at King's Fish House, the go-to spot for fans. By the way, I'm looking at that menu right now, Joe. And, sometimes, you watch Giants games, and if you get depressed, some people eat when they're depressed. And if you are after a Giants game, you go to King's Fish House, or after a Niners game, hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're happy and you're eating. But I'm looking at these wild Ecuadorian mahi-mahi tacos. They got the cotija cheese. They got the house-made chips. They got the guacamole. What do you look at? The lime cilantro. There you go. The crema. I got a good accent. Mi acento es muy bueno. Come on.
It's más o menos.
It's more or less.
Lucky us.
Lucky us. But I'm just saying, that's just one of the many options. They have
more or less good.
They have Cipino there, too, with Dungeness crab.
I love me some Cipino.
Some seafood. So King's Fish House, you got to be there. September 4th.
I just don't understand. I don't understand these text messages. The man literally just said the Giants need 12 players. But hey, it's Melvin's problem.
That's a good point.
Both can be true. The team is not good enough, and the manager inspires no one. I challenge anyone listening to 95.7 The Game, watching us on YouTube. I challenge anyone. Make the case for Bob Melvin. I challenge you.
Oh, I love that.
Make the case. No, it's very simple. We have this thing, the sound machine that puts LJ to sleep, or not
white noise.
The white noise machine. Yeah. That literally is, when I look at Bob is the thing that puts us to sleep.
He's the white noise for the fans.
And you make this point, I think we're close to much. I don't. I think the Padres are way ahead of us on a variety of levels.
Well, the gap has widened.
I mean, look, Machado's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
We don't have a Hall of Famer, or at least Hall of Fame talent, even if you don't think his accomplishments are there just yet.
Well, Verlander's a Hall of Famer, but he's not a Hall of Famer anymore.
I mean, Joe, he's done.
He's cooked.
I mean, he has one more win than Bonte does on pre and post this year.
Oh, why do you got to do that to Bonte? I mean, he's going to be joining us.
Bonte has more than one win.
I mean, Bonte.
I think Bonte has one win this year.
Well, we'll ask him.
He has more than that.
We'll ask him at 9 o'clock because he's going to be joining us in studio, courtesy of River Islands. As all guests on 95.7 The Game appear on the River Islands guest line. This is the time for you to discover the islands, River Islands, and Lathrop.
They've got a Hall of Famer in Manny Machado, okay? Who's still very, very good. If not, he was an all-star this year, for crying out loud. Then they got Fernando Tatis Jr. I'm not even sure he's in his quote-unquote prime just yet.
I mean, he's having a down year for his standards, batting .270.
Which would lead the team.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And robbing home runs like it means nothing. They got Jackson Merrill.
He's only 26.
They got Hearns. They got Gavin Sheets, who would both be better than any of the right fielders that you've been playing all year. Would you agree?
Yes, dude. This guy, Freddie Fermin, I love what I'm seeing from him.
They got Arias at first base, even though he's kind of more of a second baseman. I mean, Jake Cronenworth would be, a starter on our team. And he's been batting 8th for them for a long stretches this year. Just go around the diamond. I don't think we're on their level. Now, are there players like Logan Webb or Robbie Ray that they would die to have? Sure. But I think overall, their lineup is so much better than ours. I mean, so much better than ours. And then I see, Bryce Eldridge hit another home run to left center field yesterday, back-to-back days. I mean,
good for Bryce.
If I see another home run from Bryce Eldridge down in AAA and I don't see this guy get called up, my head's going to explode. What are we doing? Honest to God, what are we doing? Play the kid. Bring him up. What do you have to lose? We're falling asleep here. The Niners play the Chargers, and we're more interested in seeing Trey Lance B-roll on the sidelines than we are watching your pathetic team and Christian Koss boot the ball around at second base.
I'm more excited about to see Jim Harbaugh before the game even starts, pounding the breastplate and the shoulder pads of Trey Lance. I'm more excited about the pre and post game festivities of a preseason game.
Trey Lance confirmed to start, by the way.
Confirmed? Oh,
yeah,
that's big news.
I saw on the bottom line NFL ticker.
Hey, we're gonna have a Trey Lance conversation at one point today. We haven't talked about him all week, Joe, and we got Chargers, we've got Niners preseason game 3, and who's this a big game for? Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, Tyler. You'd be surprised. The kicker, first and foremost, Jake Moody, got to finish on a high note before week 1. You all doubted him, by the way.
Kicker watch. Jacob Moody.
That sucks, situationally. You just got to move forward.
He moved forward, and boy, did he. Game winner last week. I'm looking for another game winner this weekend, leading ahead of week 1 in Seattle, where he'll have another game-winning kick. Over-under on game-winning kicks for Jake Moody. He said a 1.5 this year. taking the over, and I just made up that stat.
If I hear another person defend Bob Melvin through the prism of what he did with the A's 5 to 6, 7 years ago, like, stop it. Just stop it.
You have to use the Padres as the most recent example, right? Because he actually did something with the Padres that he never did with the A's, was getting to the NLCS or the championship series, because I know the A's are the American League team.
He doesn't resonate on this team.
I know he doesn't.
I don't care what he did before. He's done. Like he's done. He's done. And if Buster rolls him back, that will be such a big demerit on Buster. I'm gonna look at Buster sideways, at least as an executive.
I kind of liked when he said, like, sell me on Bob Melvin going forward. I mean, there's 6 games under, so it's probably the worst time to do it. But if there are people that believe in Bob Melvin, that he's not the problem, we had people on the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line weighing in saying, what do you want him to do with this roster? Do you
be awake? That's what I want him to do. Just be awake. Show me a pulse. Do something. Spit some seeds out. Throw a ball against the wall. Rip your hat off. Clap in someone's face. Do something. Show me that you're not at the last stop of your entire career and that you care. Show me something. That's what I want, Joe. No, I'm dead serious. Show me that you care. We have invested so much emotion as fans, so much money, and so much time into watching this team. And the man, I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, we got a game tomorrow. Yeah, no duh, Bob. You're getting paid, and you got picked up the option for next year. You got your severance package. All right? Like, show me you care. No, I'm dead serious.
No. That was the greatest line.
Show up.
The greatest line of the season. That should be the slogan. We were doing Niners slogans yesterday. The slogan for the Giants game for the manager. The 2025 San Francisco Giants. Unfortunately, there's a game tomorrow. You have to laugh at the pain at this point, Joe. You have to. And Richie in Queens, on the other side, he's going to defend Bob Melvin. That's a diehard Giants fan. He's going to be defending him. We're going to get into it on the other side. Defend Bob Melvin. Giants fans, God. If you're out there, sell us like it's Wolf of Wall Street. Sell us this pen. No. Sell us on Bob Melvin for the future.
Like, Chip Kelly has no one to work with.
Hey, Baldy's a believer in Chip Kelly, and I'm a believer in Baldy, so I'll just say that. 888-957-9570 is the number. We got Bontiello in studio at 9 o'clock, and defending Bob Melvin is the task at hand. Can Buster really bring this guy back, and what would that do for his Q rating here in the Bay amongst Giants fans? We'll get into it, and it's going to be brought to you by California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans.
Speeding is dangerous to other drivers, to people walking or biking. Speeding catches up with you. Tickets, crashes, or even worse, slow the fast down. Safe speeds save lives. Go safely, California. From the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2025 Red and Gold Summit, and it is happening on Thursday, September 4th, live from King's Fish House at Westfield Valley Fair in Santa Clara. Me and Dibs will be live from 2 to 4, and then the summit from 4 to 6. So Steiny and Goo and Shasky and Spadoni are all going to be there, and we invite you to come over for the hang. Are we really doing this?
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Come into Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and see an amazing selection of Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliances live and on display in one of the largest living kitchens in the country. And save with Full Suite Savings Event. With qualifying purchase, get 3 additional years of protection or qualify for a $1,000 rebate. For the largest selection of Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliances, visit the Living Kitchen at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or at friedmansappliance.com.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend. Oh, my Bob!
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider. A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo. People friendly, bug deadly.
There's a party at your house, but some are uninvited. Yeah, it's bugs. You've got ants, spiders, maybe a mouse or two. It's a full-blown shindig, but don't let these party crashers ruin your good time. Visit atgopestcontrol.com and let them show those pests the door permanently. Because when the only guests you want are your friends, leave the pests to them. Visit their website today, atcopestcontrol.com, before your house becomes a full-blown infestation. Call 888-900-9697 now for 10% off your initial service.
When back to the office means back in traffic,
is still blocking the left lane.
Turn to the traffic leader, KCBS.
Still blocking the right lane there, and then a second.
The Honda CRV is ready for adventure. Don't miss the Honda Summer Event, brought to you by your Northern California Honda dealers.
The following is an attorney advertisement. If you get sidelined by your workplace injury, the workers' compensation attorneys at Boxer & Gerson can help you get back in the game. Our team of skilled attorneys will fight by your side for the treatment and compensation you deserve. We care about justice for injured workers. That's what makes us Northern California's premier workers' comp law firm. Call Boxer & Gerson at 510-835-8870 or visit boxerlaw.com for a free consultation. Boxer & Gerson, your life is worth the fight.
Now it's time for the closer of the week. Presented by LiftMaster and R&S Doors. Turn your garage into the envy of the neighborhood. Visit rnsdoors.com.
This week's closer comes from Glenn in San Leandro. Jonathan was able to fix the safety sensors issue quickly and went above and beyond. Tightened loose screws as well as lubed the hinges. Garage door is operating like new and closes quietly.
Recently, my garage door opener was not working. I was in need of a closer. I was put in touch with R&S Doors and they hooked me up with a brand new garage door opener from LiftMaster. With LiftMaster's MyQ connectivity, my garage door opener can be controlled right from my smartphone. You'll know when a door or gate has been left open and can close it with a tap, no matter where I am. Be one of the first 10 callers and receive 20% off a LiftMaster garage door opener.
Call 1-800-FIX-A-DOOR. That's 800-FIX-A-DOOR. Or visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
This is a good bunt. Schmidt's got it, and he throws it down the right field line. Matos couldn't pick it up. Consequently, Cronenworth scores. Pick it up.
Poor Kaiwei Tang. Poor Landon Roop.
Poor Justin Verlander.
Hey, this is Rob. This is Chase. And you're listening to The Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game with Joe and Joe.
Poor Giants fans.
Poor me.
Poor Dwayne Kuiper on that call. Pick it up. What are we doing? Well, I know what I'm doing tonight at 7 o'clock. I know what Sam's doing. I know what Shasky's doing. He's watching the Valkyries take on the Phoenix Mercury, and you can hear the game right here on 95.7 The Game and on the Valkyries channel via the Odyssey app. Just download the app and search Valkyries. It's a big one. Valkyries trying to take out revenge against the Phoenix Mercury, who came back in the fourth quarter last game. So hopefully Valkyries will show up tonight and get the job done in a tight WNBA playoff race. You asked a question before we hit the break, Joe. Well, I guess I asked it, but you asked it first. In regards to the Giants and Bob Melvin and Buster Posey. You want to revisit what we were talking about?
Yeah, it's just Buster can't bring Bob Melvin back under no circumstance. And if he does, I think he's going to really damage his credibility with the fan base. Like, I really do. I want people to understand something. Would I like every athlete and every coach and every owner to be good people? Of course I would. Of course I would. All right? But when the first thing everyone says about someone and their performance is, oh, he's a good guy. Usually the very next thing is, well, he's not that good at his job, right? And so I don't care that Bob's good. I don't care that the media likes him because he's nice. I don't care. I don't care. Maybe we need an angry guy. Maybe we need a jerk. I don't know. I'll tell you this. The Giants are worth what? $5-6 billion? A
lot.
Okay. Let's just in this hypothetical, let's just say $5 billion. Let's say they're a corporation, all right? And Buster is running one aspect of the corporation, and then Bob Melvin is running another one. He is highly compensated. He has made tons of money. This is not Billy the electrician showing up to a job site who is probably struggling to make it, all right? There's high stakes. There are high stakes. Look around Wall Street today. Do you know how many CEOs, how many managers, how many different divisional supervisors get fired every single day because of poor performance, or because their staff doesn't believe in them, or because just the company's in disarray? I have zero empathy that this is a good man. Like, that's great. I'm happy he's a good man. He is not good at his job. And if I performed as equally as bad as Bob Melvin did in a supervisor role, and everyone underneath me was looking at me side-eyed, the company would have no choice but to remove me from my job. That is the real world. Stop it with the pom-pom. He's a good guy because Susan Slusser likes him. I don't care. The team hates his guts. Willie Adames was looking at him like screaming at him in the dugout.
Elliot Ramos just defended him over the weekend. What do you mean the team hates his guts?
Give me a break. I don't buy that at all.
Elliot Ramos, as you said, one of the best players in the Giants, defended him, saying this it's not his fault.
Joe, we've got a third baseman who's just like he's either sending the wrong guy or he's stopping the wrong guy. We've got a pitching staff that is got holes everywhere. Yes, the personnel isn't good.
It's on Posey, the pitching staff.
What random guys having a hell of a year this year hitting?
Dom Smith.
You know what? That's actually, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
That's about it, though.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But like situational hitting, this team has been subpar.
Yeah.
Okay?
He wasn't good yesterday, by the way. 2 strikeouts for
Who's the base running coach? Because that's been subpar. Everyone bears the brunt. In the real world, when you do not hit expectations, when you don't meet quotas, you get fired. Okay, that doesn't mean we're axing this guy in the middle of town square. He's getting a severance package. I don't care that he's a good guy. I expect you to be a good guy. I expect you to be a nice person. Like, duh. But you know what this team needs? A little fire in the dugout. Wake Billy Martin up from the dead. Have you ever seen Jurassic Park, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, one of the seminal scenes. They got the little plastic cup and the water. And doom, doom, and the water starts to show. If we put a glass of water next to Bob Melvin during every single game this year, it wouldn't move at all. My God, they need a little bit of ricochet here. They need a little bit. They
need a T-Rex.
Show me there's some life. Give me a heartbeat. It has been flatline city. Flatline city. And yeah, the roster sucks. There's no doubt about it.
It's a big thing.
When Chip Kelly was running the Niners, did I think that Bill Walsh in his prime would have won 10 games with that team? No. But both are true. We need a new manager, and they need significant upgrades everywhere. I can't watch Bob anymore. I can't. I look at him in the dugout, and I'm like, stop panning to him. There's nothing. He's not going to do anything. He's going to stare off into the oblivion. He's not going to say anything. At least Kapler looked like he wanted to run out there and grab a glove or punch somebody.
Well, he was jacked.
I mean, Bob looks like he's ready for whenever early dinner is. That's what he looks like he's ready for.
Maybe he's ready for King's Fish House down at Westfield Valley Fair.
When my 89-year-old grandfather says, does this guy have any life left? My 89-year-old grandfather, does Bob have any life left in that dugout? I'm talking about like the energy in the dugout. That's what my grandfather
Joseph
said.
Shasky the first?
Yes,
wow.
senior.
Senior?
Yes.
Senior, sorry, excuse me.
Yes,
that's a big
senior,
one. Okay.
Yeah. He goes, like, this guy has no emotion. He's like, that's fine when you're Kyle Shanahan and you're going to Super Bowls.
Well, Kyle shows emotion.
He
gets
does.
pissed. Yeah, he gets pissed.
But he also can be very stoic.
We also can see his face legitimately turn red, so it's a little bit different.
I'm glad you bring up Shanahan. What's a seminal moment you think of with Shanahan? Because I think of this one where he lost his mind on Steve Wilkes and slammed the iPad.
Well, that's a good one, too, or ripping into Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Show me something, Bob!
I at least saw Bob in the past get angry, whether it was with, the Padres or the A's. I just haven't seen that with the Giants. And maybe that's just emblematic of the season. The last 2 years, it's just been so meh. But yeah, maybe it is time for a change. Or do you double down on it? Giants fans, if you think Bob Melvin is not the problem, call in and explain why. 888-957-9570 is the
Ralph
number.
Barbieri is up in heaven right now going, yes, Joe, yes. And I'm patting myself on the back on that one.
Thanks.
But you know where I'm going.
I hear it.
And I mean that with all respect. Two things can be equally true simultaneously. The roster isn't good enough, and he's not the right guy to lead us forward. If you think this is the guy that's going to get us out of where we're at right now, oh my God. Give me a break.
I heard Guru talking about it yesterday with Evan Giddings, who's filling in for Steiny, and he was all in on, Bruce Bochy. Go get the guy. I don't think Bruce Bochy makes this Giants team world beaters by any stretch. And by the way, I don't know why Bruce Bochy would want to leave the Texas Rangers in this scenario for the Giants. It would be clearly...
Wait, so Goo is reaching into my portfolio.
A lot of people.
And he's remixing.
Hold on.
And he's sampling my Bruce Bochy back to the Giants.
It's not an exact...
I love you,
It's
Goo.
not an original take to say Giants fans want Bruce Bochy back. I think that's always going to be there. Kind of like Niner fans want Jim Harbaugh back. But I'm not going to sit here and entertain the thought that Bruce Bochy all of a sudden makes this Giants team, World Series contenders. I just think Giants fans want the nostalgia. It always goes back to nostalgia. See, Joe, I don't want to go back to nostalgia, Joe. We've had the Bruce Bochy chapter. Let's move forward with something else.
Look, if presented with Bochy or random young guy X, either. I'll take either at this point. I don't think Bochy's coming back. But to your point, I just think we need something different. This is not the right guy. Yes, the roster sucks. I acknowledge that. And also, this guy's not very good.
888-957-9570.
If he got hired by the Dodgers right now, how would you feel, Giants fans? You'd probably be like, that's a bad hire by the Dodgers.
I'd feel the Dodgers, I don't know. The Dodgers maximize everyone down there, it feels like. So maybe it'll end up working.
I disagree.
Chris in San Jose, Richie in Queens, will get you on the other side. They have two sides of this take when it comes to Bob Melvin. What say you, Giants fans? That's what's coming up in the game, brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2025 Red and Gold Summit, and it is happening on Thursday, September 4th, live from King's Fish House at Westfield Valley Fair in Santa Clara. Me and Dibs will be live from 2 to 4, and then the Summit from 4 to 6. So Steiny and Goo and Shasky and Spadoni are all going to be there, and we invite you to come over for the hang. Are we really doing this?
Oh, we're really doing it. Hey, it's Joe Shasky here for the one and only Serramonte Ford in Colma. And listen up. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Tesla owners. It's time to make the switch. And right now, you can upgrade to a 2025 Mustang Mach-E Select for just $239 a month plus tax for 36 months and only $19.99 due at signing. No trade-in required. And here's the kicker, 0% APR on every Mach-E in stock. And we're talking over 100 options to choose from. It's one of the largest inventories in Northern California. Plus, you get a $2,500 rebate, 2 years of complimentary maintenance, and the Ford Power Promise. That's a complimentary home charger with installation. Are you not a current EV owner? Well, no problem. You can still get the Ford Power Promise. But hurry, these offers end September 2nd. Do not wait. Don't even try to overthink it. It's Serramonte Ford in Colma. You know, my homies, your NorCal Mach-E headquarters. See details and the dealer stuff at serramonteford.com.
Odyssey San Francisco is proud to present our 2025 Quarter 3 Game Changer, Frankie Fan. She's the go-to pro for fast answers, flawless support, and always going above and beyond. Frankie doesn't just help, she leads. Frankie, you truly are a game changer.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Losing weight shouldn't be a struggle, and with Jumpstart MD, it doesn't have to be. Your first month is just $99 when you join Jumpstart MD's medically supervised weight loss program today. Licensed clinicians create personalized plans, including GLP-1 medications. No insurance? No problem. Jumpstart MD has options to meet your individual needs. With 13 Bay Area locations and online visits, expert support is always within reach. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com to start transforming your health today.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. It's the Good Guys 38th West Coast National. Happening all this weekend at the Alameda County Fairgrounds in Pleasanton. Check out over 3,500 classes. An earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest. Tire smoking burnout competition. Good Guys Autocross racing competition. Plus an indoor car show celebrating 70 years of the Tri-5 Chevy and more. Happening all this weekend at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. Details at good-guys.com.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Save big during Labor Day at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, buy more to get up to an additional 20% off. Shop even more savings with 3 Stay Green 1 cubic foot vegetable and flower garden soil bags for $10. This Labor Day, take care of your home for less at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Devers hits one high and deep and gone. All right, he caught up to one.
Yeah, synced it up nice. Gets a fastball and did not miss this one.
He nutted that thing.
What's up, Roasters? It's Sam from Laughing Monk Brewing, and you're listening to the Morning Roast with my guys, Spadoni and Chasky. Spadoni, you better hit those brakes, buddy.
Crushing it this morning. Crushing it, Sam. And so is Sam Lubman from one Sam to another. Sam I am. Shout out Green Eggs and Ham, Dr. Seuss. Phil Collins Friday. We're rolling. Giants lose again. So nothing new there. 6 games under 500. Lost 6 of 7 against the San Diego Padres. Padres are a game out of the NL West. And the gap has widened between the Padres and the Giants. Padres moved off of Bob Melvin. They brought in Mike Schilt. All right? They haven't looked back. Padres fans are laughing at Giants fans.
It's a high-level loser,
They
bro.
are. They're laughing. But is Bob Melvin the problem with this team right now? Giants fans, Is he the problem? Is he the solution? I don't know. But is he the overarching problem for all the problems that are going on with this Giants team? That's what Giants fans want to tell me. This is a guy they need a pound of flesh of this season. Someone needs to suffer. And Bob Melvin needs to be that guy. 888-957-9570. Chris in San Jose, Richie in Queens. We'll get to you in a second. It's bros before phones.
No, it's all right. I want to hear from these guys because to me, it's so obvious. It's both, right? It's not one or the other. It's when you lay out a plan or you take over a business, it's never like, oh, we just fire the CEO and we're good, or we fire a manager and we're good. Like, no, you need to implement significant changes. And I think it starts with the manager first, and then you hire the right people, because there's stuff is off. It's obvious. Like, I'm looking at the results. Do I see what he's doing inside the clubhouse? No. But I'm looking at the results, and the results are pretty evident. You're one of the worst teams in baseball for over a third of the season.
It's brought to you by Golden State, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. And let's start off with Chrissy in San Jose. He's been hanging on very tight. Chrissy, good morning.
We're hanging in very tight today. Hey, Spadoni, Mr. Shasky. Yeah, I don't know who's going to come in here and defend Melvin, just like straight up defend him and act like he's not a problem. But you're right. I mean, the roster, there's culpability in both of it, right? The roster, Bob maybe not getting enough out of the roster, which at the end of the day probably isn't good enough. But it's like you said. I mean, I called last week. My 85-year-old grandma's more with it than this dude. I mean, he offers nothing. And, I don't want to poo-poo on, like, Kerr by comparing them. But, like, if Kerr didn't win and didn't have titles and maybe didn't have the talent, like, he'd be very similar. You know what I mean? He's very politically correct. It's always very even keel to the point of, like, no, dude, we know something's wrong. We know this wrong. Like, yeah, you know more than us. You may forget more than we'll ever know, but I'm looking at this, and this ain't right, dude. So give me something. Like, tell me something. There's a – if we finish, here's a little glass half full for you, Shasky. And it's not like the NFL or it's not like the NBA where you can draft a first-rounder and, they're going to plug and play, and you can – that guy's going to offer you something. But, hey, we're looking at a top 10 draft pick now, baby. So let's just keep Melvin the rest. Let's keep Melvin the rest of the way, and we might end up worse than the Marlins, and we might end up, damn near the White Sox at the end of the year. So just keep trucking, Bob. You're doing swimming. You're doing great, bud. But, yeah, I've commented on this before. If it was Farhan, we give Posey grace, right? If it were anybody, we give him a little bit of grace. But also, he's a Hall of Famer, and he's our guy. So we're going to give him, 10 times as much grace as anybody else. But I told you, if Farhan hired Verlander or signed Verlander, we would have poo-pooed it.
You're right.
If he signed Adames for this big contract and he underperformed, we would have poo-pooed it. So, I don't know, man. They need to play the youth is what they need to do. Because if we're listen to what we're talking about, we're not good enough, right? Okay, so let's just real quick aside, Bob, you're not good enough. You got to go. Let's address the roster. You got all this money tied up in Chapman, Adames. These guys are not stars on other teams. Totally. They are role players. They have never been asked to be leaders. Even going back to when Chapman was on the A's and they were winning 95-plus games. It's like, dude, you're a 24-year-old kid with a bunch of other 24-year-old kids. You're not a leader. Adames wasn't a leader. He might have been a rah-rah guy, but he wasn't a leader of the Brewers. So, I look around this. Logan Webb's not a leader. He's a quiet guy who goes out there and pitches every 5 days. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it stems from Bob, and then we don't have. Unfortunately, in the MLB, these guys are all studs, right? It's not like varsity baseball where your sixth man can call out your star and be like, "Dude, you got to pick your S up. What are you doing? You're dragging. This is embarrassing, man." And that's part of the problem, frankly. Yeah, Bob's got to go. Roster's not good enough. I'm fired up. But at least it's a Friday, and y'all have a fun Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I would love to hear the Melvin stands try to defend this guy. Love ya. Take your comments off air.
See you, buddy. That's Chrissy in San Jose. If you want to defend Bob Melvin and you want to retort to Chrissy in San Jose, 888-957-9570. Call or text the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line.
We've done a lot of like, hey, look at Boston. Wow, they got rid of Devers, and look where they're at. Is anybody in San Francisco? Has anyone uttered the name Milwaukee Brewers?
No.
They are 80-48. Does anyone know who's playing shortstop for them? They have two guys, but one predominantly, he's played like 100 games there, 120 games there. This kid, Joey Ortiz, he's 27.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm going to give you his batting average and his raw OPS just in general this year. He has 93 hits, 7 homers, 43 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, and a 233 average with a 6.12 OPS. Not great, but not that far off from Adames. Now, Adames has a lot more home runs. But like
the average is 12 points better.
He's $160 million cheaper.
Yeah. And they didn't look back. And they're 32 games over 500. 32, Joe. They've been one of the best stories, if not the best story in baseball this season.
They went 13 in a row at one
Brewers. They're leading the National League. They have 4 more wins than the Detroit Tigers in the AL. They're up against the Phillies and Dodgers. The Milwaukee Brewers got rid of Willie Adames, didn't look back. The Boston Red Sox got rid of Rafi Devers, didn't look back.
I know.
That's a problem.
I know.
That's a major problem. And you brought back Chapman from last year, which we all, I think, agreed. It's like, okay, that's fine. But, like, he can't be one of your top 3 dudes.
Can I give you how many strikeouts this year for Willie Adames?
Oh, God.
How many do you think? 142.
I was going to go in the hundreds, yeah.
Okay. How many for this guy, Joey Ortiz?
50s?
63.
Wow. 63.
60. How many base hits for this guy, Joey Ortiz?
90?
93.
Okay.
How many hits this year for Willie Adames?
80s.
104.
Okay, good. All right. Good. He's better than I thought. All right. Where you were going with that, I thought but to your point.
But I'm just trying to compare and contrast.
Yeah, that's... Okay. You're making significantly less.
And I like Willie, and I wanted them to bring him in, but he's not a star. There's a difference.
And and now we're talking about this, and Chris brought it up.
This is why Milwaukee's so well run.
Well, and that's why the expectations of Milwaukee, they could do no wrong, because no one thought the Brewers were going to do anything this year. Like, that's baked into it. Bob Melvin, you at least thought you were going to compete for a playoff spot. Like, these are expectations. It's one thing if you are doing it in Oakland and there are no expectations, right? It's like you could have a bad season. Oh, well, Bob's doing his best.
Yeah.
It's Oakland, Moneyball. They made the movie. He's trying his darndest. And that aw shucks.
Trying his darndest.
It's true, though.
I expect you to try your darndest.
No, but that's the expectations for the A's.
I know.
And quite frankly, let's call it what it is. The Padres, like even when Bob was there, the expectations, it's the Padres. Padres haven't done anything my entire life. They've been just irrelevant for the most part of my life. I know they did the rebrand, AJ Preller, I get it, but it's the Padres, Joe.
I know.
The Giants actually have like expectations in history. I know we can laugh at that, and they've only had one playoff appearance the last 9 years, going back to 2016. I get that, but they did win 3 World Series when Bob Melvin was also managing the A's. Like, there are expectations here with the Giants and that fan and that history there. They have legit history, and when a fan base has been downtrodden for so long and the fans are showing up, they're getting frustrated.
Can I ask you a question about the Milwaukee Brewers?
Please.
What makes them so good as an oiled machine, as a franchise? Do you know?
Consistency. They've been consistent with their drafting and playing of young players for the last decade plus, it feels
so
like.
So I'm going to give you their win-loss record, okay, going back to 2011. 96-66. 83-79, 74-88, 82-80, 68-94, 73-89, and then this is in a row. 86 wins, 96 wins, 89 wins, 29 in the COVID year. They were 2 games under. 95, 86, 92, 93, 79 this year, and 80 last night.
And they got rid of their manager. Craig Counsell, he's gone. He's in Chicago now.
Forget those 2. You know what else they did?
I can't even name their manager, by the way, from Milwaukee.
No one can. They traded away Corbin Burns a couple years ago at the deadline. Anyone remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they didn't want to pay him. It was all the arbitration, all of it. Yeah. They did trade him, though, to the Baltimore Orioles.
And then what did he end up doing?
For the Orioles?
No, what did he end up doing in general? He signed in free agency with the Diamondbacks.
And then he got hurt. And he's done for the year, Tommy John.
So they probably avoided a $300 million mistake.
Yeah.
They knew more about him than we did, and it was a smart move.
Sure, but also it did signal kind of like an A's Moneyball cheapness factor to it. Like, you would like to keep a player like a Corbin Burns that comes up with you, Joe. I hear what you're saying there. In hindsight, obviously, it was the right move because he got hurt. But I don't want to fully let them off the hook because it felt like a cheap move at the time.
They made the playoffs in both the years prior, these years where things happen. I'm just saying,
I know.
They've been first in that division basically 4 out of the last 5 years and have made the playoffs almost every single one of those years except one, the year that they finished second. They also let Willie Adames go. That's $180 million, that they didn't sign. All right, so you're looking at almost $500 million that they didn't pay. And they're still winning, and they're one of the best stories. Now, what did they do? They played Jackson Churio.
They gave him a contract, too.
Big way one. Significantly cheaper one. They bought out all his years of arbitration.
Yeah, but they projected that this guy was going to be legit for him. What was it, like $100 million plus?
Yeah. And they played him from the beginning. So I guess where I'm going at with this is that, to be a team like the Milwaukee Brewers, it takes guts. And when we were talking about Robbie Ray at the deadline, what would the Brewers have done with Robbie Ray at the deadline, whether they were good or not?
Flip them.
Probably, right?
Because they're not paying him. They don't want to pay him going forward.
And they assess how good you are right now, and will you duplicate this performance moving forward, or is this the high water mark? They did it with Devin Williams. They did it with Josh Hader. I'm giving you examples of why the Brewers are so well run. And this is the tough part that I don't think Giants fans understand. You can't just buy your way out of being bad. It takes everything. You've got to spend money wisely. You've got to develop and draft your own. You've got to hit on your own. You've got to cultivate a winning experience that's deeper than just the manager. That being said, you also have to have the right person churning those guys in the clubhouse. And right now, I think the Giants are off on a lot of those things.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station, and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live with the free Odyssey app. And as always, coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios, we're talking Gigantes baseball as they lost 6 of their last 7 to the San Diego Padres. Lost this current series, obviously 3 of 4. Verlander is now 1-10 on the season. Padres are a game out of the National League West, and they moved off of Bob Melvin just over a year ago. Mike Schilt come on down, and I guess it's not as simplistic as that, but Padres fans will tell you it is. Padres fans will tell you it's basically the same team. And we just changed the manager, and it's changed everything.
Well, they've added a lot in the last
they did get Jackson.
Year.
Jackson Merrill's a big piece to this last year, coming onto the scene he did.
I mean, this team right now has the guy from Baltimore. They brought in Sheets. They brought in Sears. They brought in Mason Miller.
Sure.
They've added to that.
But the pitching staff's not good. That's part of it. They haven't been good this year.
They also added Arise the year before. They've tinkered around the margins. Is what I would say.
Yes, and I would take. Clearly taking their offense night and day over the San Francisco Giants offense. But I'm saying their pitching staff as a whole has not been very good, and they've been able to navigate that to a point where, again, the Dodgers, who are, I think, a tier above everyone would agree, a tier above, they're just a game out of that division.
Am I a cynic if I said, had they just plucked Rafi Devers and they put him in that lineup, he would be having way more fun?
Oh, probably. I mean, but everyone's having fun in it's San Diego.
Yeah, but
it's a party. It's a vibe.
I know.
And also, they have a legit home field advantage. They're 20 games over at Petco Park. 20 games over 500. Richie in Queens has been hanging on tight. Richie? He wants to defend Bob Melvin, and we're asking Giants fans.
I'll listen to it.
We're asking Giants fans that want to defend Bob Melvin here. We're giving you the opportunity to do so at 888-957-9570. Tell us why Bob is not the problem with this team. What's up, Rich?
Hey guys, how are you? And as I'm holding here, I'm watching Duvall do what he did with the Giants. 2 pitches to first, a pickoff, then he disengages for a balk, and they're bringing Rogers in with men on. We didn't do that all year. Rogers is not a kind of guy you want to bring in with men on base, off contact. And the other thing too, guys. Remember we discussed the best move I made all year was I canceled my trip to Milwaukee. Could you imagine that I'd be thinking right now, waiting at the airport to go see this team for 2 games, spend $2,000 for the weekend, which I would have had no problem if they were in the pennant race. And I remember us talking about 6 weeks ago saying, I'm just hoping they're in. And we were both kind of saying, yeah, they should be in the pennant race at this point. They're a disgrace. Okay, let me get to Melvin. Guys, to me, a manager is worth 5 games either way per year, baseball. I think the NBA coach, NFL coach is much more involved. Defensive schemes, the right plays, the right calls.
Sure.
It's an individual sport with baseball. You got to get up, you got to hit the ball, you got to make contact. If I look at in New York, Mendoza, they're all over him. Why? Shows no emotion. Boone, same way. Team wins every year. Every year they want him out. no emotion. Plays that are dumb that we do are done with the Mets. Alonso threw to the wrong base. Jazz Chisholm gets picked off first and a pop up to second. These are all things that happen. Do I think that Bob Melvin's done a good job? No, but I don't want to put the emphasis on him. We have the worst team in baseball, guys, right now. There's no that we're averaging 10 strikeouts per game. Our OPS the last 2 months is like 620. Nobody makes contact. We got all swing and miss people, and that's Chapman. That's Adames. That's Avi Davis at this point. That's Fitzgerald. That's Schmidt. That's Bailey. How do you teach that? How do you get up and say we're going to be better because of that? Yeah, you can maybe give them a little incentive. I know Adames is upset. Please. And you know what? When I look around the lineup, all right, there are no C's. Maybe a C for Lee. Everybody else is C- and D's. That's unheard of. Think about it. Who would you give a plus mark to? You know, our bullpen was A's at one point. I mean, and the previous caller, Chris, I respect him. You know, Adames was a leader. He was a leader for Milwaukee. He was a guy that came up big for them. I don't know what's happened. Do we blame that on Melvin? But going forward with Posey, I think if he goes with the fan base, Melvin is out. If he looks at it and says, look at what he's got to work with, he might go another year. But Melvin is not the only one. Thompson's another one getting grief in Philly. A guy never makes a move. He looks like a dead man on the bench. You know, and then get back to Kapler. He won Manager of the Year. He was fiery. He was too fiery, and 2 years later he's fired and didn't get a job. So my point is, you got to have the talent, and we have none. And going forward, getting a new manager, Bochy's having problems in Texas. What happened there? It is a World Series team 2 years ago, so they're probably not going to make the playoffs. So the point is, you got to have the talent.
Yeah.
And again, I'll end it this way. If they fired Melvin, would I be upset? No. But I am not putting the emphasis on Bob Melvin. It's an individual sport, guys.
Great call.
You know, I think Chapman and Adames have left 120 guys on base. That's not on Melvin.
That's a great call, Richie.
Talk to you during the year.
Yeah, I love you, buddy.
We appreciate it.
To put
Richie's balling, by the way. It's like, hey, I have no problem spending $2,000 to go to Milwaukee, but I'm not.
There's 31 games since the All-Star break for the Giants. They've struck out almost 300 times. Yeah. They have the least amount of runs in baseball by a wide margin since the All-Star break.
What are they batting against left-handed pitching?
I'll give it to you right now. All year or just...
Since the All-Star break, all year. It doesn't matter. I think all year it's
I'll give it to you.
It's one of the worst, if not the worst in baseball. It's jarring.
This is all year.
They've gotten a hit against a left-hander?
Have they?
I don't know. Have they? I honestly don't know.
No, seriously. It that
feels
bad.
that low.
It's awful. Like historically, if you told me this is the worst season ever a team's had,
the Giants. Okay,
pitching,
this is
please give it to me.
The Giants are dead last against lefties.
Of course.
What do you think their team batting average is?
I'm gonna go 200,
210. Oh. Who's the next closest?
Pirates.
What are they at? The Giants are at 210. What are the Pirates at?
233.
Yeah,
215.
Oh, wow.
Guardians at 223.
It's honestly embarrassing.
Let's go OPS. Who do you think's dead last against lefties?
It's the Giants, right?
Yep. Let's go home runs.
Giants.
They're third to dead last.
Oh, okay. That's an improvement.
All right.
And slug.
Overall hits this year. How many hits have the Giants had in 1,200 at-bats against lefties?
300.
242.
Jesus.
Only the Angels, Royals, Astros, and Pirates have less.
Oh, my God.
The Astros have 300 less at-bats against lefties,
is that
by the
Bob
way.
Melvin's problem, though? You just gave me complete ineptitude at the plate. Literally, if you told me LJ is a lefty, put him on the mound against the Giants, he's striking out the whole team. A 2-year-old could throw. Benny's a lefty. Maybe the Padres or the Dodgers should sign him and just play him against the Giants.
Isn't Bonte a lefty too?
There you go.
Yeah, Bonte is a lefty.
So
I'd rather be Bonte.
You know what? That explains their win-loss record when Bonte does games now, because he's left-handed.
Runners in scoring position all year.
What is it? Give it.
Third to dead last.
Oh my God.
Batting average.
Is this lefty still?
No, just general.
That's just
scoring position.
Oh,
Scoring position.
Oh my
How many
So
strikeouts?
ugly.
Okay, this is it's just, I mean,
You
over
have to laugh through the
260
pain.
strikeouts.
You have to laugh at the pain.
I mean,
hold on. Hey, Bob, when I tell you this, what do you feel?
Well, look, everybody's feeling it right now, especially at home. You lose games, and you lose multiple games, and you lose them in different fashions. It's not a great feeling, but I think we take the field every day in good spirits, and you got to do it again the next day, unfortunately.
Got to do it the next day, unfortunately. The slogan of the 2025 San Francisco Giants. We have a game tomorrow, boys. Unfortunately. Not unfortunately, there's a Big Smoothie out in Oakland. What's up, Big Smoothie?
What's up, dog?
You're on the Morning Roast.
Good morning, gentlemen. So, it's funny. It had to be a couple months ago, maybe two and a half months ago. You guys, I don't know if you remember this, but you guys had some analytical guy on the radio, and Shasky was
I know.
just hammering.
Keith Law. I know. I know.
Shasky, I was like,
Yeah, man, you seem
But
very
anyway.
emotional regarding this. That didn't age well, Big Smooth. It didn't age well.
But listen, and then you guys were like, hey, I think the Giants could beat the Dodgers. Remember that? We were laughing at the Padres. We were laughing. Bob Melvin's demeanor was fine at that time. Bob was being heralded. Oh, Bob, you're great. Yeah, all of a sudden, guys can't hit anymore. Guys, then we have, look, you look at the box scores. I've always been a box score guy. I like to look at the box.
Yeah, me too.
You see, 1 hit, 1 for 4, 0 for. Come on, dude. This is not Bob. Bob Melvin was about to win. We could have. Bob Melvin could have been the mayor of San Francisco 2.5 months ago. Do you honestly think Bob Melvin has forgotten how to coach, guys? Is that what we're thinking now?
No,
I do think that
Bob Melvin.
I don't think he connects with these guys.
Thanks,
though.
Big Smooth. We're up against a Big Smoothie, but we
Can I
get
ask
the
you,
point.
what are
Yes.
the Giants?
Guy Sanchez in there.
Hey, he might help.
Hey, the
He
whole
hit lefties.
I love looking at like the home and road splits. What do the Giants bat as a team this year?
What is their overall batting average?
231.
So
what are they batting on the road?
200.
231.
Oh.
What do they bat at home?
Oh, now it's 200.
231.
Oh, interesting. So it's the same thing. Both
the dimensions are irrelevant.
They're just not good.
They're not a good hitting team.
They're just not good.
I don't want to hear about it anymore, everybody. Like it's ridiculous.
Joe, think about this. We're about to hit the break. I want Joe Shasky to think. This is a guy that actually coaches too. You're a coach and a manager in your own right. I want you to think of the most single important trait of a baseball manager. What is the most important trait a baseball manager must have? And does Bob Melvin have it? I want you to think about that and tell me on the other side. We can ask the people, 888-957-9570, the single most important trait a baseball manager must have. We're going to reveal it on the other side, and that's what's coming up. It's going to be brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. This Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Before you head down the coast or over the Golden Gate, visit BayAreaOilChange.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2025 Red and Gold Summit, and it is happening on Thursday, September 4th, live from King's Fish House at Westfield Valley Fair in Santa Clara. Me and Dibs will be live from 2 to 4, and then the Summit from 4 to 6. So Steiny and Goo and Shasky and Spadoni are all going to be there, and we invite you to come over for the hang. Are we really doing this?
Dreaming of the perfect kitchen? Make it a reality at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill. Explore Bosch appliances in live working vignettes and see the innovation in action. During the Buy More, Save More event, you can get up to $4,000 in rebates on qualifying Bosch kitchen packages. From refrigerators with the Farm Fresh system to keep your food fresher longer, to dishwashers with precision wash technology that wipes out 99.9% of bacteria. Own the kitchen like a Bosch. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or online at friedmansappliance.com today.
Getting directions, texting Janine and shipping on us. The broken coffee maker?
That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2.
Centers.
And we're back, live during a Flex Alert. Dialed in on the thermostat. Oh, we're pre-cooling before 4 p.m., folks.
And that's the end of the third. Time to set it back to 78 from 4 to 9 p.m. Clutch move by the home team. What's the game plan from here on out?
Laundry?
Not today.
Dishwasher?
Sidelined.
What a performance by Team California. The power truly is ours.
During a Flex Alert, pre-cool, power down, and let's beat the heat together.
Lawton Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is a 5-star facility located in the Sunset District of San Francisco and in close proximity to our preferred partner, UCSF Medical Center. At Lawton, you're in good hands with world-class nurses led by a well-known and UCSF-affiliated medical director in Dr. Darby Clayson. Contact Administrator Dan Daly at 415-566-1200. That's 415-566-1200 for any additional information.
When back to the office means back in traffic.
Vehicle that smacked into the guardrail.
Turn to the traffic leader, KCBS.
But word of a crash there.
Act fast. Get your new Honda Prologue before the $7,500 federal EV tax credit expires September 30th. Brought to you by your Northern California Honda dealers.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
I'm scared all of a sudden, Joe.
You know, we got Rafael Devers, we got Adames, we got Wilmer Flores, and this is all for our Latino base here for 95.7, but wanted to sign off with this. Soy Adán en el Ciudad y estás escuchando al Morning Roast en 95.7 El Partido. Thanks, guys.
Does Bob need to just learn Spanish then? That's what we need to do? Communication? Is that the most important trait? Is it showing a pulse? What is the most important trait for a baseball manager? As we're talking Bob Melvin, and stock is all the way down right now on Bo Mel. And Giants fans, if you don't think he's the problem, we would love to hear why. 888-957-9570. It's Spadoni at Shasky. We're rolling on the Gigantes. And I teased it, and we're going to talk about it. Before I do that, I got to tease something else. Because coming up tonight, 7 o'clock right here at 95.7 The Game. The Valkyries are taking on the Phoenix Mercury, and you can hear the game again right here on 95.7 The Game, and also the Valkyries channel via the Odyssey app. Just download the app and search Valkyries. I mean, Natalie Nakase easily shoe in like minus 10 million to win Coach of the Year, right? It's not even close to the WNBA. She's absolutely the Coach of the Year. It's a lock of the century, lock it in. Hell, I might want her to take a swing on after the Valkyrie season's over. Come on down to the Giants. Why not, right? I mean, the way people are talking about Bob Melvin, anyone could coach this team, right? Right? That's what we're all thinking. Well, Buster Posey, a couple months ago, Joe, he picked up the option, and he said, hey, I put this team together. If you're going to come down anyone, come down on me. I'm the one that put this roster together, not Bob Melvin. So he's taking the heat, right? Right? It should be Buster Posey taking the heat. If he's telling me to give him the heat, right?
If I ran a job site in any walk of life, plumbing, electrician, like pick whatever you want, carpentry, and nobody was doing their job accordingly, and we were all off deadlines and off schedule, someone has to pay for that. Now, does that mean like that the workers I have are the right workers? Like that's a whole separate conversation. The foreman bears the brunt of that, does he not?
Yes. But
whoever's running that job site.
But also, and again, this is all any walk of like the business. You start from the bottom and you work your way up. That being said, when Buster Posey, what is the foreman? I guess the supervisor at this point. I don't know.
Buster Posey in this analogy would be back at the office.
Yes.
Right? And I don't know, somebody who knows. He's not the general, but he's like
a civil engineer. He's like doing the blueprints and stuff.
Yeah, he's sitting at a desk. He's a desk guy.
Okay. All right. So, but he is the guy that's ultimately in charge.
Melvin's on site.
Okay.
Melvin's on site.
But Posey's in charge of all the on-site guys. And if on-site is down, production's down all over the place, I'm the president and saying, what the hell's going on? I'm reading in the papers that production's down right now. Get your guys' asses in line.
No doubt.
Right? But is ownership putting that fire to Posey right now? They should be.
I mean, the fans are pretty ticked off. So you asked me a very simple question. You asked, like, what's the number one skill or attribute of a
trait?
coach?
Number one trait for a baseball manager.
Okay. These are just my baseball principles, okay? And people can disagree. I believe it's the most mental of all the sports. The difference between Willie Mays and Elliot Ramos, Willie Mays and Luis Matos is 1 out of 10, meaning one extra hit per 10 at-bats. The greatest player of all time in almost everyone's Rolodex is Willie Mays. He was out 7 out of 10 times. It's a game of failure. It's a game of I'm in your head no matter what. I'm slumping, I'm streaking. This is a righty, this is a lefty. He threw me up. Okay, now I have a 2-0 count. Now he's got now it's a full count. I got to expand my zone. When I'm a pitcher, any little tiny thing. Hey, my curveball's not breaking the way I want it to today. I don't have good grip on my sinker. I'm getting squeezed by the umpire. All right, it's second and third with no outs. I need a pop-up right now. I'm out in the field. I'm taking my at-bat that I stunk it up with runners in scoring position, and now I'm in the field. I'm not paying as close attention. I'm letting that wear on me. I'm running the bases, and because I've struck out 4 or 5 times and I finally got a walk, I'm trying to do too much and go first to third. It is the most mental game of all the games because of the inherent failure. In basketball, if you shoot around 50% from the field, like that's really good, just in general. If you're shooting 30% from three-point line, that's acceptable. 30%, as in batting 300 in baseball, you are one of the 7 or 8 right now best players in baseball. That's how many guys are batting 300 in the modern day. So I think communication and the ability to adapt to what an individual needs in baseball, the human element touch, is the most important. Sometimes guys just don't want to hear a damn thing from anyone, and you need to be able to recognize that. Sometimes you need to put your arm around them, and they're dealing with stuff away from the ball yard, family, life, whatever it might be, and they need a hug. Sometimes guys are just going through it, and they're overly analytical on what they're looking for or the swing mechanics. Sometimes guys need to go out and party, I truly believe it's the most mental game of them all. So I think the best managers in the history of baseball throughout the centuries have been able to adapt to what their team needs at any given time and connect on a human level with whoever it is and understand what they need. What Buster Posey needed from Bruce Bochy was very different than what Johnny Sanchez needed, which was very different from what Lincecum needed, from what Brian Wilson needed. Think about how diverse those personalities are of all those guys I referenced.
You said something right there, communication, and then it got me to thinking this, and it's the same thing, because when I threw out the question, I was also thinking, it's like, man, what is the number one trait? And it really is not just baseball manager, because I do think this is the number one trait for, in my opinion, for NBA or NFL head coaches, but it's emotional intelligence. And it's the same thing, knowing your players and what makes them tick, every single one of them, right? From the first guy on the depth chart all the way to the last. Knowing what makes these guys tick is so damn important. And I do think that's what made Bruce Bochy so special to Giants fans, especially in those playoff series, Joe, is he just knew all these guys and what made them tick. He knew when it was time to go. He knew the right moves. He was the maestro of the orchestra, if you will, come playoff time. Now, the totality of a season, obviously, is more important to that because you have to get to that point. But knowing your personnel is so important, especially in baseball. It's such a good point.
And I also think your staff needs to be diverse.
Correct.
So when I watched the Red Sox doc regarding following the team for the whole year, Alex Cora comes off brilliant in it.
Yeah.
But it's also the staff that he's built. It's the infield coach who's got a certain personality. It's Andrew Bailey, who was with the Giants, who's got a certain personality and is extremely analytical. I'm just going to give you my own experiences. Like when we're sitting in the dugout, me and Jimbo, we're coaching, my buddy Jim. And Jim's very he's thinking. And I'm the guy I've got 5 steps ahead. Hey, if we walk this guy, we got the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up. It's going to be first and second. We've got 2 guys on the bench right now that have bullets left that can be able to throw. I'm going like youth level baseball. These are the things I'm thinking about. And then I am regurgitating it and I'm sending it over to him. And then now he has to process and think about it all in real time. All right. And I think this guy's scuffling. I was talking with him yesterday in warmups, and he's kind of not all there. He's really dragging in his confidence. Go out there and talk to him. If he throws a ball right here in this situation, go out to him. Hey, I was working with him prior to the game. He doesn't have a good feel for his curveball right now. So just scratch that off of his repertoire. It's changeup fastball today. See, to me, it's not just the individual manager. It's the totality of his entire staff and how well they know everyone and can connect with everyone. Ron Washington. Why is Ron Washington such a beloved baseball lifer?
Why? Because it's his ability to connect with players.
Ozzie Albies swears by him.
Yeah.
Marcus Semien swears by him. Those guys are very, very different. Very different. If you've seen their Instagrams, Marcus is very cerebral, very, very, very kind of understated.
Calm, cool, collected.
Yeah. Ozzie's got this big, effervescent personality. They both swear by him. And I think one of the beauties of having guys like Ron Washington on your staff is those guys are trusted agents. And I look at their staff right now and I don't know. These are things we don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what they've got. I know when Bochy was here, he had Mark Gardner, who everyone in that bullpen swore by. He had Dave Righetti, who that staff loved, who understood what it was like to be a scuffling, late innings reliever, a middle reliever, a spot starter. He knew what it was like to be a starter. He knew what it was like to be the man in a rotation. He knew what it was like to not be the man and be the old-time veteran. He really had a feel for how to navigate baseball as a pitcher at every single level of where these guys might be at. I look at Bruce Bochy being a catcher. You're always thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches ahead, 2 batters ahead, 3 batters ahead, right? And then I think of all the guys he had on his bench. Bam Bam Mullins. Obviously spoke multiple languages, understood what it was like, coached every winter ball in different areas, right? This is how you build a staff. I don't know about their staff. Now, I know Matt Williams is a baseball lifer. I know that he ran a team for a long time. There's a lot of guys that are doing this for the first time, though, on that staff.
It's a great point. And 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. The most important trait of a baseball manager, communication. Jasky's saying, but it's not just with the players, it's with the staff and then the players themselves. It's like trickle-down effect. So, you have to be put in a position right now to succeed, right? And it starts with Buster Posey, quite frankly. But again, when Buster tells me this is the guy a couple months ago and he picks up the option, I start to question things, Joe, as the team, and I see Willie Adames, and I can't get it out of my mind. Willie Adames, whether he was shouting directly at Bob or just shouting at anyone that will listen, it looked like it was directed towards Bob Melvin. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, 2 days ago, Willard Dibs is in the dugout, Giants-Padres, and he's really frustrated. He's shouting about something. Bob's listening. He's listening until he's not. Then he turns around and watches the game again. And it just felt like it was emblematic of how Giants fans feel right now towards this team. They were almost like Willard Dibs was the vessel for Giants fans as they're shouting, and no one's listening. And I'm sure Buster Posey is. And Bob Melvin does. Like, you hear it after every game. He's wearing it on his chest. He's wearing it on his sleeve. But just because the guy's not yelling doesn't mean he doesn't care. That being said, as we're talking about Jim Harbaugh and Kyle Shanahan this week, we do love a guy that wears that emotion, whether it's crying like a Dan Campbell or getting mad and yelling like a Jim Harbaugh at time or just being a little quirky. When the losses start piling up and the team's not performing well, it's how you react.
Yes.
And we don't like how Bob Melvin reacts, or these kind of managers, they react with, yeah. But some people are just like that. And you're not going to change Bob Melvin at this point. What is he, like in his mid-60s? He's not going to change his whole temperament.
Do you think Bill Belichick? Do you think Bill Belichick changed how he was over the years?
Yes. If you watch his pressers from the early 2000s or the 90s of how he was as a head coach, he absolutely changed.
We do this thing in sports where we don't think that the coaches have skills and traits like the players do, but they do. They absolutely
they
do.
evolve.
No
Yes.
doubt. Well, and some devolve.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes their thinking is outdated, or maybe they're just their ability to connect with a certain group of guys. There are certain teams I've coached, specifically in basketball, it's a smaller group, but there are certain groups of kids that I've coached where I just wasn't the right coach for them. My temperament didn't match what they needed at a given time, and I had coached them for so long that they were done listening to me. That happens. Sometimes that happens. Or we went through some things and I don't know. It's just I was done with them. They were done with me, and we just all needed to move on. That does happen. Like, not everyone's going to click with everybody. Pete Rose had my favorite quote, and I know Pete is a very
controversial figure.
Yeah, for a lot of people. But the guy is a baseball savant, and he summed it, and it's boiled down to the most basic element. So there's 3 ways to coach people. You kick them in the pants, you put your arm around him, or you say nothing to him. Now, there are degrees within each of those 3 categories, but he's so spot on. And then getting back to like the bench coach, Joe, I think that people underrate how mental baseball is on a pitch-by-pitch basis. And I think that's why like baseball guy can rub the casual baseball fan the wrong way.
Yeah.
If I have a runner at first base and that guy, it's an 0-0 count, okay, and it's the 7th inning of the game, and they're going to go bunt, and they square up to bunt, all right? My third baseman starts to crash. Well, if my first baseman's holding on the runner, what's he going to do? Now, what is my staff saying? Hey, this guy hit 3 up the middle in his last 3 at-bats against this particular guy. Who do we have in the bullpen? Where should we shade our outfielders? Like, there's like 75 things going on pitch to pitch. Once we get to 2 strikes, what are we going to do? Are we going to lay everybody back? Or are we going to still crash our shortstop? Our third baseman, excuse me. Is our shortstop going to roll over and cover third base in the event that this guy bunts one down the line, the third base line, and he's not going to slow down going first to second? Are they trying to steal on this one? Do we throw over 2 or 3 times to negate him from stealing or get him taking a step back? I think that we underrate the staff as a whole in baseball in general. And I think the beauty of what made me appreciate Bochy wasn't just Bochy. It was Bam Bam. It was Ron Wotus. It was all the guys on that bench, and they're all communicating as Bochy's sitting there soaking it all in, and he's the one who's the trigger man in that dugout.
Well, it's a great point, and Bochy has been on our airways right here on 95.7 The Game. Bruce Bochy, 4-time World Series manager, and he's talked about it. He doesn't like when people say, oh, no, he was a gut guy. He went with his feelings. He's like, he actually took that as disrespect. He's like, no, I use a lot of analytics too. Like, you're kind of devaluing all the hardworking people that I worked with to put me in a position to succeed. And I like to give those people credit because I had all the numbers with me constantly. I looked and reviewed all these things constantly. Now, I had those people working on my staff, and like it was their job to do that, and they would feed me the information, and it was up to me to do with it with what I wanted to do, right? But like, he hated being labeled as just a gut guy because he was more than that. And I think the great managers are, Joe. And this whole notion that And I do think it's disrespectful, low-key, when we do say, like, oh, Dave Roberts, he's just a figure. What does he really do? I was like, no, you have to give the guy credit for going to that many World Series at one point. Now, is it a team effort with the general manager? And when it comes to the staff, and when it comes to the sabermetrics, right, whatever we call it now, yeah, that's part of it. But like, he's the one that has to go out there and make the tough decisions, right? And he's the one that has to go out there and face the music when they fail. He has to be the fall guy, if you will. And there is something to be said about that.
There's something that's...
I'm not saying Dave Roberts is the greatest manager of all time, but you got to
No.
And we'd
I'm
like
with
to do
you.
this with Nick Sirianni, too. It's like, oh, what does he really do? It's like, no, well, he puts the staff together, him and Howie Roseman, and he knows what makes people tick.
Yeah, but I think the reason why analytics gets such a big, like... It honestly makes me angry, the word analytics, is because sometimes there are times that you do something as a coach or a manager that have no rhyme or reason in data at all.
Yeah.
There are moments, like, and I know Matt's behind the glass and he's coached a lot of different, and I'm not pretending that youth sports is the same as, but on a level of like confidence and moments, I do believe there are similarities. Sometimes there's times where you have a guy who's been going through something and you need them to just go out there. He needs to get through this moment, because I think this will be a moment that he'll be able to use to propel him forward. And he's really important to what I want to do a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. And so I'm going to do something that makes no sense when it comes to analytics in terms of letting him pitch against this guy in this moment, because I, for whatever reason, feel like he needs this. I don't even know if that's making sense to you.
No, it's making sense. No, it makes clear sense. And that's why I love the pitching coach right now for the Texas Rangers. He's been a pitching coach for a long time. You know who he is. Mike Maddox, brother of Greg, former pitcher.
I love Mike Maddox.
I love whenever Mike Maddox.
Plucky.
But his whole thing when he goes to the mound, for those of you who don't know, you probably recognize him if you see him, but he's been a baseball lifer. Mike Maddox, he'll go to the mound, and just to get a pulse of the player, he touches his shoulder every time. And it's a grounding method. It's very kind of like psychoanalysis, just to get a feel for the player and to tell the player, hey, I'm right here. We're good. We're going to figure out. This is what I'm going to put you in a position to get out of this tricky spot. We're going to go through it right now. All right, hey, where are you at? How you feeling? What's working? What's not working? Just a little tap. That's all he needs on the shoulder, just to ground that player. Something as simple as that and subtle as that you're kind of talking about, Joe, where it's unquantifiable when it comes to the numbers. Just a touch on the shoulder. How you doing? And that's why I think you've been so frustrated this season at times when it comes to the young players, especially like a guy like Hayden Birdsong, or prior to that, a Kyle Harrison. It's just like, hey, this is something the manager can do, is telling the catcher, hey, Patrick, go out there, talk to the guy. You've seen it, whether it's Willie Adames or Matt Chapman, they go out there to talk to the guy.
I call it moments. There are moments that arise, and somebody needs your, to your point, like hand on the shoulder, and that more metaphorically than physically.
No, but both, right? And that's why I love Mike Maddox, like the hand on the shoulder, but yes, metaphorically, physically, it doesn't matter. It's just getting a pulse of the player.
Why do you think we got Harbaugh in town over the weekend?
And I'm glad you're going here. Yes.
No, but we got Harbaugh in town. Why do you think Niner fans love him so much?
There is something about the way he communicates with the fan base and through the media that is just, it's different.
The way he
empowers,
the way that he inspired Alex Smith to believe he was actually good is actually one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in sports.
He inspires the players and the fans.
He believed in Alex more than Alex believed in himself, and more than his own family did, which is an insane sentence.
He got the fan base to believe in Alex.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he got you and me to believe in Alex Smith, one of the biggest busts of all time. That guy.
He understands psychologically how to connect with guys. Now, does that mean he's going to connect with every single guy? No. But I do believe on some level, this is why I love Harbaugh so much. Like, the game is played by humans.
Yeah.
And the humans every now and then need somebody to truly believe in them so that they can believe in themselves.
Here's a guy that I know does not believe in Bob Melvin, but I want him to explain why. It's Alex in Atlanta who joins us right now. What's up, Alex?
Hi, gentlemen. How you doing this morning? Listen, to me, and what you guys have been talking about was really resonating with me. It's the idea that you have to find the right coach to complement the locker room you have. And that can be very difficult at times. In sports, there are a number of examples where it's worked out well. The best I can think of is Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan. Phil Jackson was the ultimate Zen master, very down to earth, almost connected with his players on a somewhat spiritual level, like yogi, shamanistic kind of stuff. Michael Jordan, in contrast, was so driven by this obsession with winning and a competitive nature that the two really balanced each other out, and it helped those Bulls locker rooms, those Bulls teams perform at such a consistent high level. I look at, Larry Brown with the Pistons. Larry Brown is a buttoned up guy, very, very focused on trying to find perfection in an imperfect game of basketball. His style, his approach really complemented that hard-nosed, blue-collar, down in the mud style of play that Pistons team had when they won their championship. And when I look at Bob Melvin right now, I just see the wrong guy for the locker room. I see a guy that just doesn't connect well with the players he's managing right now. I think to your point you mentioned, he's a guy that he's not going to come up to you and, put a hand on your shoulder when you're struggling or try to figure out why things are going wrong with you. He's just kind of going to let you try to play through it and figure it out. And that just doesn't seem like it's the right fit for the Giants. It's been bubbling all year and it's boiled to the surface in recent months. And I think that just means it's time for a change. It's a lot easier to change the person in the head coaching position than it is to change multiple pieces in your locker room to try to fit that head coach's style.
It's a great point.
Thanks, Alex.
I think anyone, because we've all been students at some point, we've all had teachers we connect to and all had teachers we don't.
Yes.
And I think even the ones that we don't connect to, I think most of us could acknowledge they might still be a good teacher for the right person. Some just suck. Some are just Jim Tom Sula.
Yeah.
And they're meant to be a teacher's aide and not a main teacher.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Some
or
are
a sub.
Exactly. Some are that way. But even the ones that maybe I didn't connect with all the way, I could still acknowledge, but they were good teachers for other people.
Right. Yeah. And I might just be an idiot too. And I might for math class. Math wasn't my strong suit. Yeah. All right. And that's fine. It could have been any other teacher. It wouldn't matter. I might not have succeeded anyways. And I'm glad you brought this up, Joe, because it's kind of how I feel about certain players when it comes to development. And I do want to get into this conversation. And by the way, we're going to be pivoting to football here in tech, but it's not just football because it's baseball related too. It's just development at a professional level and how we view the player versus the front office that drafted said player, the coaching staff, all of it. And by the way, Football Talk on 95.7 The Game is presented by Paramount Plus. And Joe, you're a Paramount Plus subscriber, right?
Absolutely. South Park.
Oh yeah, South Park.
Landman.
And you're going to get into Nickelodeon when LJ gets a little bit older.
Mobland.
There you go. SpongeBob. Big SpongeBob
Right
guy.
now, we are really into Bluey.
Okay, Bluey's good. Bluey's good. I don't think it's on Paramount Plus.
No, it's not.
But that's okay. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. And you're going to be locked in to football all season long on Paramount Plus, Joe. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. Again, all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. And something you're going to be keeping your eye on over the weekend, Joe, is going to be this Chargers-Niners game. And something you're going to be keeping your eye on all season, quite frankly, is Trey Lance and Jim Harbaugh. Because this entire week, we've really gone by without talking about one of the biggest Bay Area busts, draft picks wise, in Trey Lance. It's a huge story. And, we've talked about Harbaugh on that angle versus Shanahan. And I think we've learned that people still gravitate towards Jim Harbaugh in a big way around here. Hell, if both these guys were free agents right now, Shanahan and Harbaugh, I think most Niner fans here that we've interacted with, they'll take Harbaugh. And that just speaks to what he represented here in the Bay Area in a moment in time. And for you as a fan, Joe, and him being able to maximize Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, who, by the way, is on Jim Harbaugh's staff with the Chargers, Navarro Bowman. He just meant something here in the Bay. Kind of like what Bruce Bochy means. Kind of like what some of these, or more so like a Dusty Baker who didn't win one.
Yes.
And Bochy's like, he's won. He's a legend. There's levels to this.
Good feels.
A Don Nelson, right? A guy that's just representing. He's like, God, I just love that guy. I would love to play for that guy. And he's been doing something with Trey Lance in this preseason. Again, you could scoff. You could say it's preseason. But you know what? It feels good to watch Trey Lance succeeding at any level right now because he just couldn't towards the end there. Whether it was with Dallas, whether it was that final iteration with the Niners in training camp and preseason where we were watching Aiden freaking O'Connell outplay him. Aiden O'Connell, a rookie out of Purdue. Per who? like in a preseason game, and it felt like there was pressure on the kid in a preseason game. So it just feels good for me to watch Trey Lance right now, at any level succeed with Jim Harbaugh. And again, it's preseason. You can scoff at it. He's going to be starting against the Niners over the weekend in the final preseason game. But I want to ask you, Joe, the biggest Niner fan I know, what is it like watching Trey Lance right now with the Chargers? And if he does go down and score a touchdown against the Niners this weekend, how are you going to react?
Well, I separate Trey now. I don't do this thing. I see a lot of Niner fans, they do this like, well, Trey Lance did well, therefore the Niners, blah, blah. No. Trey is independent of the Niners.
Are you going to the game tomorrow, by the way?
No, I gave my tickets to my buddy Cam.
Cool. That was nice of you.
Well, we're going up to the cabin for a good week and a half.
Weather looking good?
Oh, dude, it's going to be like 90s.
Oh, it's going to be toasty. Put on that SPF 1000.
Yeah.
We can get a tan with that.
Look, I'm not expecting everyone to feel this way, because I remember one of the more controversial Niners of all time, T.O. Some people hated him the second he left the Niners and the way it went down, which that's their prerogative. You don't have to root for everyone. Some people rooted for Joe Montana when he was with Kansas City.
Yeah.
Some people, I know this guy Danny, who became such a big Viking fan because Roger Craig went there and literally switched allegiances to the Vikings. So everyone has their own progress. I root for Trey individually. I just root for the kid. I think he's a good person. We talk about Bob Mills is a good person. Like, that doesn't mean that I hate you or whatever. I can root for you. But I don't make these like sweeping connections to the Niners. The Niners did the right thing. I mean, they made the wrong move by drafting him. They made the wrong move by trading up. That was all wrong. But the way it went down, they owe it to themselves to continue to operate at a high level and to win games. And to do that, they needed to go in the direction of Brock Purdy, which was the smart thing to do. And, he had his opportunities to win a backup job, and he fell flat, and that's on him. And I think that for his own maturation of his NFL career, maybe he needed that. He probably needed a lot of things. But I don't connect it to it. And I see a lot of Niner fans, see, this is what, nah, man, too much time has passed and everything. I think it also takes away the culpability of where Trey kind of let himself down.
Right.
Forget the on the field stuff. He had the whole thing with the ladies of the night and the videos that came out. And, I'm not sure that he was fully ready on the field or off the field at that point in his life. And he even talked about how he learned how to prepare for football from Brock Purdy. So, look, I would hope for him that he has some sort of a Geno Smith-like resurgence somewhere down the line.
It's a great call, the Geno Smith one, yeah.
It's very unlikely.
It is, but you know what? I believe he's going to have opportunities this year in regular season games to show that he belongs.
You think Herbert?
I think Herbert gets hurt.
Okay.
He's hurt, Bert. No, seriously. And I don't mean to joke. He gets hurt a lot. He does. He gets and they lost their starting left tackle. Rashawn Slater's out for the year. And Joe Wall, is he going to shift? I don't know. And again, they like to do ground and pound. That's the Harbaugh way. They're going to try to limit the amount of throws that Herbert can do. And listen, they don't have a stacked wide receiver room there. They have Ladd McConkey, who's pretty freaking good. He was a Pro Bowler in his rookie season. But outside of that, it's kind of bare. And they draft the kid out of what? UNC, North Carolina is their number one running back this year. So we'll see there. But I do think there's going to be an opportunity this year for Trey to prove himself. And I do think if he just stays as the backup and maybe it's for a quarter or two and he shows that he can do it, hey, maybe he'll have an opportunity elsewhere. How old is he still? He's still super young.
25.
He's not even, isn't he 23 or 4 or something?
You know what I think about with him?
What?
Had he been a couple years younger, he would have probably
25. Okay, sorry.
No, but let's say he was 23.
It's like Jason Tatum. He's only 19 still. He's been in the league for 7 years. Continue. Sorry. Yeah.
He would have hit the portal.
Yeah.
Yes. Right? This is a guy that probably would have played Power 5 football, and maybe he develops more. Maybe he gets exposed and he doesn't become a first-round draft pick altogether. I do believe that he was just a victim of the whole thing of COVID, the season striking short, the NIL not being around, the Niners not doing the proper due diligence. There were so many areas where everyone let everyone else down, pie chart of culpability.
Exactly. He was also a victim of the ridiculous hype of what was dubbed the greatest quarterback class of all time.
Carson Wentz, too. Think about this.
Yes.
He went to the same school as Carson Wentz, and I think a lot of people thought that, I remember that back then. This is before Carson, really, fell on his face.
No, he was an MVP candidate. If he stayed healthy that Eagles year, he's going to win MVP.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of people were like, see, if Carson Wentz could do it, and I don't know. So there was a lot that was going in. And look, the Niners, like the Jets, they made the wrong picks.
I mean, that entire, again, I go back to being a victim of that draft class, which was, and we'll see what Trevor.
It's one of the greatest draft classes ever outside of quarterback.
Well, thank you. No, it was dubbed, could this go down as the greatest quarterback class of all time? Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars, Justin Fields to the Jets, or Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. See, all the names, they're all just an amalgamation at this point. Hell, Mac Jones is part of that draft class, and now he's the backup for the 49ers.
Listen real quick. Okay. So Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, all whatever you feel about them. Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain. Then Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Parsons, Slater. I mean, it's a who's who.
It's ridiculous. And the Niners.
Who's the weakest? The weakest player amongst Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell, J.C. Horn, and Patrick Surtain might be Kyle Pitts.
It is Kyle Pitts, who's been quite frankly, he's been kind of a bust. If you draft the tight end,
by the way, he's been a Pro Bowler.
He was a Pro Bowler. I think it's rookie season, right? He was a Pro Bowler, but
shows where the Pro Bowl's at.
Well, quite frankly, it's become a joke. The Pro Bowl it's an absolute disgrace.
I mean, you could make the argument outside of Vera Tucker, who's the guard for the Jets. Zaven Collins was good. He had moments. Devontae Smith has been really good. Jalen Waddle. I mean, this is an incredible draft outside of the quarterbacks. And Trevor Lawrence is the only one of those quarterbacks to win a playoff game, I guess, as a starter. I don't know if anyone else was backing up but again, being a victim of your draft class in a way. But Trey Lance, I want to ask the Niner fans this because they're playing tomorrow at Levi Stadium, 888-957-9570. You're at the game. And Trey Lance takes the Chargers down the field and scores a touchdown. I wonder if people are cheering. I bet he gets a cheer before he even goes out there. As he jogs out to start the game. I bet people give him a little cheer.
I want to hear people that are going to be going to the game or just be watching it in general. Are you going to be cheering for Trey Lance tomorrow? 888-957-9570. It's totally okay. Again,
I'm rooting for the Niners. And do I root for him to do well overall? Absolutely.
Are you rooting more for Carter Bradley to succeed tomorrow or Trey Lance? Let's just keep it.
Yeah, but tomorrow's not a real game, so there's not real results. If this were a real game, it'd be totally different.
It's not exactly. It's an exhibition. It's an exhibition.
I don't know where people are at. I don't wish him ill will. I do believe there are people that are and this I think is unfair to both these guys. If Purdy does well, what does that mean about Trey? Oh. If Trey does well, what does that mean about Purdy? To me, they're totally independent of each other.
Let's hear from Kyle Shanahan, who spoke about and looked back at the Trey Lance era earlier in the week.
I don't want to sit here and evaluate Trey too much. I think I've done that before, but when I revisit that, we knew where our team was at and we knew where it was going to be the next couple of years. And we were committed to getting a rookie quarterback. We weren't sure that it would be forever, but we thought that was important to contractually with where our team was at in order to keep a good team together. So we knew we were going for a rookie, especially after a veteran left earlier that year. That was an option. So that was more of a plan in that way. Now we can go back to what we thought and everything, which I have no problem doing anytime, but I don't want to sit here and evaluate Trey again. I'm pulling for Trey. I love Trey. One of the best people I've been around, and I really hope it works out for him.
That was Kyle Shanahan earlier in the week. And, I will credit Kyle Shanahan always with this. When they made the trade with the Dallas Cowboys to get rid of Trey Lance, he said at his presser, he's like, I failed Trey. I failed him. And I did not put him in positions to succeed at the NFL level, and I will own that. And I appreciated that because not everyone does that, Joe. Now it's easy when you stumbled upon a Brock Purdy and he ends up being the guy in the future, and it changes perspective for you for sure. But he didn't have to say that. He could have just said, "Hey, it just didn't end up working out for whatever reason, and we're gonna go our separate ways, and I wish him the best." But he owned it and said, "I failed Trey," and I thought I came away with tremendous respect for him. I think a lot of Niner fans wanted to bear down and beat him down and say, yeah, you're the fault. It was your fault. Let's get this guy out of here. He set him up to fail, all of it. Listen, if that's your prerogative, if you're that person, if you want to do that, All I'll say is, do you feel better saying that? Like, does that make you feel better? Just going out of your way to keep just berating and beating down and beating down. You failed, you failed, you failed. Like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, you have to move off of it at some point. I don't think there are Niner fans that will never forgive Kyle Shanahan for the failure that was Trey Lance, which is, that's what fans do. Shout out Elliot Ramos, fans are going to fan. But, well,
we got to be able to move on, though.
We have to move on, but also, you don't have to say that. And when I watch what's going on in Indianapolis right now and the failures that are going on when it comes to either Shane Steichen or wherever the hell their GM is right now in Indianapolis, like the Anthony Richardson pick, it's the development, everything around it is laughable from management side. You knew that guy was going to be a project from the moment you drafted him.
Yeah,
you knew he was. Everyone told you this guy. Like, you needed time for him, and they knew that. They said it. It's like, yeah, it's going to take some time, but we're going to stick with our guy. Now he gets hurt early on, and he had to redshirt. And okay, that's basically you had to go into last season saying that was his rookie season. And what did they do? They pivot off him as soon as possible.
For Daniel Jones.
For Daniel Jones. They pivot off of this guy, and we all knew that you had to take your lumps with Anthony Richardson because he had to figure out how to play quarterback. Oh, but, people are playing for their jobs. They're coaching for their jobs. No, you told us that you had to be patient. So all of a sudden, your patience level, because the guy's struggling at the NFL level that you knew was going to struggle, you have to rip off the Band-Aid and say, oh, well, it's not working. We got to win games. We got to win games. You got to, I just hate what has become, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, when it comes to guys that we know are projects, they are not willing to take their lumps at whatever professional level, and you have to stunt their growth because of the fan pressure or the ownership pressure. Don't select these guys in the first place is what I'm saying, if that's going to be the attitude. Because quite frankly, I do feel bad for the Anthony Richardsons, the Jonathan Kumingas, the Trey Lances of the world. When you put these guys that are clearly not in a position to succeed right away in positions to fail going forward.
Well, what's funny is that
it drives me nuts, quite frankly.
We do this thing like, he has a high ceiling and a really low floor. We do that when it comes to like Anthony Richardson. I mean, I think I'd rather, and this is going to sound crazy, I'd rather take a look at Anthony Richardson than Kenny Pickett any day. And Kenny Pickett is the reverse, right? Oh, he's a low ceiling, high floor guy. No. He sucks.
Thank you.
He sucks. Stinks to high heavens.
This sucker.
Stinks to high heavens. And it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy how we do these quarterback things. I had another aspect that I was thinking about with Trey Lance that I thought you were going to go to.
Oh, is that a tease then?
Well, he hated Jimmy so much, Kyle did something else.
And he's going to explain what that is on the other side. But first, it's the injury report. And by the way, you mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, that guy could have just, Boxer and Gerson basically paid for that. The Jimmy Garoppolo segment in and of itself. It could have been the Jimmy Garoppolo work injury attorney's text line. The Valkyries are going to be shorthanded again against the Phoenix Mercury tonight down in the desert. Damn. Forward Cecilia Zandalesini, there you go, Paisan, will not play tonight due to a calf injury. She also missed Tuesday night's game against the Mercury with a calf injury as well. And guard Carla Leet, who scored 15 against the Mercury on Tuesday, is a game-time decision as she deals with a foot injury. It's not good. That's not good. As we're trying to make the playoffs here, it is the final stretch of the WNBA regular season, and the Valkyries need all the wins that they can get. Hopefully they get one tonight against the Phoenix Mercury right here on 95.7 The Game. The injury report was brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier work